And we are back one more time from another break, and there are 3 players remaining. Estonian Dmitry Fomitsa is our shortest stack with 25 big blinds and 2 million. Blinds are 40 and 80,000. 2 Bulgarian local players are crushing it at this point. And the only female player still chip leading, Lazarova. My name, of course, is Chris. I'm here, and I am joined by the lovely, the witty, and smart Kat Arnsby. Hello, Kat.
Hello, darling. How's it going?
It's going fantastic.
Good news.
Happy to have you here. How was your break?
It was lovely, yes. I mean, you kind of know that, Chris. Let's not pretend there's another world. We sat out there and we talked about the Battle of Malta. So
the viewers don't know it.
Well, let's fill them in. We just sat and talked about the Battle of Malta.
Battle of Malta. What's that?
Wow, it's going to be the next event that we'll see MPN PT Live turning up at, and it's 500 buy-in with 1 million guaranteed. That's 1 million euros, not like 1 million very rubbish other currency. It is definitely one. I was going to pick a specific one and change my mind. Give me credit for that. 1 million real euros guaranteed. So that's why we were talking about it, and that's why it's going to be so good.
It is, and who else is good is Lazarova, who just picks up another set of blinds and antes, raising it up from the button, showing a bit of aggression.
What would you, I mean, what percentage of hands do you think she should be raising from the button at this point, given that she has a very, very tight player, as we've seen? When she's on the button, the tightest player on the whole final table, probably.
I think it's high. I think it should be something close to 50% even.
Wow.
Like, I'm not saying she should open every single hand, which I think might not even be bad, but
no,
I think 50 is like up in there.
I suppose it's she does have to be aware of the player in between pushing back. I mean, he's shown a propensity for that. He's not scared, is he? He's not nitty.
Nope.
He can be very aggressive when he wants to be Yosifov, so maybe that's definitely playing into her mind as well. But she looks very confident. I see she's put her glasses on. Maybe she's popped her contacts out and got a bit more comfortable, put her glasses on.
I guess so.
Yeah. It's game time.
Do you have glasses?
I do not know. I have 20/20 vision, actually.
Oh,
I'm very
really?
lucky. Yeah, given my age, I think that's pretty good.
It just, I felt a contacts part because twice today my contact lenses have been just popping off my eye randomly, and I've been blind from one eye.
That is random.
For a while.
This is interesting. Raise from the button.
Fomitsa ooh, he does 3-bet here for 650,000, and if you're getting 3-bet from Fomitsa, our alarm bells must go off.
They really should be. It might be time to fold kings pre-flop.
Even with the hand, the strongest king-queen offsuit from Yosifov, you really want to call this one, though. I would want to call this one if I was Yosifov, but against Fomitsa, I would think twice.
Yeah, it's hard not to, isn't it? But he does have the chip advantage. He does have position, and he would probably really like to see the back of Fomitsa. Not on a personal level, just purely let's get the guy out and
try to take this one down.
Wow, is Yosifov missing a finger, or does he just have it curled under there? That'd be cool. He's like, he's a 9-fingered poker player. That's exciting.
That's very exciting. But it seemed like another finger just popped out. Yeah,
I just wondered if he lost it in a poker game. That would be a high-stakes poker game.
I want to hear that story.
Exactly.
Like, what happened?
I do enjoy that. I can't lie. I do like to know stories about players, how they got to where they were, how they ended up being here. I do enjoy that. I mean, appreciate the Bulgarians are probably here because they live around the corner, but... Oh, wow. We've just been informed by the tournament manager, Rich, that we have a player who travelled all the way from Chile.
Chile, wow.
Yeah, wow. One of the skins on the network must be able to trade in Chile, and we had a player come all the way. That shows they're quite a pull. I mean, fair play.
I agree.
I really hope he had a good time, or she. You did. Okay, there we go.
Fomitsa lets it go from the button.
Oh, no, I think we're looking at a misdeal.
It's a misdeal.
We've got the sticky card syndrome. We might want to make sure they've got some new cards on there because they appear to be... the dealer has given the international signal with his eyeballs to the TD. Boom.
Exactly. There is Matt giving another set of cards.
Straight. You know, we did that in the past, Chris. This is 30 minutes behind, and we just magically made that happen. We control time.
I have, speaking of 9 fingers, one of my best friends, who is the best guitar player I have ever met. He's a wizard with a guitar. He has 9 fingers, and
Really?
it just doesn't hold him back.
Wow, well,
Not at
fair
all.
play to him. I mean, I actually play the guitar myself, so I don't really know.
And
it sounds like
it's
it's
on his
hard.
left hand as well, which you use to like manage your strings. So it's awesome for him. And
So, Marginov is making a comment there on the non-all-in 3-bet with 20
He's not
big blinds
loving
out
it.
of position. I kind of see where you're coming from, but I mean, this guy's image is so rock solid.
it kind of looks so strong that if you get shoved on, you're never
You
gonna
have
get
to
shoved
call.
on. No, I mean, you can even maybe fold. Just because of the
Surely.
fact that you have the tightest image and you're never gonna get shoved on by anything less than ace king or like tens.
Right, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. I mean, I have to be honest, I kind of agree with Marginov. I really want to see for 20 bigs, 3
Yeah, I
bet,
wanna see a shove as
get
well,
it in.
for
but,
sure.
We've been saying for a while actually that from it, so we don't really
we're
know
not
what
gonna
to
know
do
what
with him, do we?
Exactly.
He's
Let's
battling
just
our Swedes.
Hope he manages to find few more tens or jacks or queens. 10 seems to be his hand, doesn't it? He's like half tens 5 times, folded a couple of them in weird situations,
Yeah.
but at least he keeps on getting them. Yosifov and Lazarova aren't afraid to play against each other.
As they often are. Maybe they play against each other locally, possibly, and know a
Might.
little bit more about each other than we might think.
I love that little stab from Lazarova as well. Just taking it down with a jack high, which was a better hand, but still, you know, bluffing that ace-queen rack flop. And Yosifov and Fomitsa are very similarly stacked, so Lazarova has kind of run away at this moment. 45 big blinds. Still quite a lot of room to play.
I agree. She does. I do want to see her keep that pressure on. I mean, she's not disappointed so far. But it can be quite hard work. You know, when you're three-handed chip leader, you need to keep the aggression up. It gets a bit exhausting. Like, you think, oh, can I just have one hand where I can not do something here? And actually, the answer is kind of no. Like, you need to be playing a very wide range of cards, everything but the real.
It does get exhausting, and the fact that you need to like keep the pressure up, it's not as easy as it looks.
No, definitely not.
It's just when you look at a hand like Queen 6, you might even need to raise here, but it's so much easier just
to
let it
fold
go
it,
and not think about situations post flop.
No, well, I'm a big supporter of her raise against Fomitsa. I mean, she's unfortunate there, but again, he's making it easy for her.
Fomitsa does call, and Fomitsa has been very straightforward post flop as well, with couple of. Ooh, and that's a 6 on a flop.
Certainly is.
So Lazarova does outflop Fomitsa here. But should Lazarova bet out here, I think Fomitsa is never going to get like tricky or randomly call here.
No, I
She does
prefer
check.
a bet there, really, on the keeping up the pressure basis, on the basis that her hand's probably
Ooh.
good but very vulnerable.
That's one of the best turn cards for Lazarova, besides a queen or a 6. That it just makes it so much less likely for Fomitsa to have an 8. Fomitsa does take a stab at it, bets 200,000. And queen or a check is what he needs. And that is an ugly looking river card for Lazarova. And should Fomitsa bet, I wouldn't be surprised if Lazarova folds. 300,000,
four.
nice little aggression from
Yeah.
Fomitsa.
And out of character, I mean, has this what he's been doing all
And
along?
that's what we saw last time when we came from break as well. First few hands, Fomitsa just randomly decided to be aggressive. And now it's not very random, because that is the scariest card that could come on the river. Because I don't think Lazarova ever has hearts here. She would bet them on the flop. I don't think she has like 7, 9, 9, 10. All of these hands bet on the flop, so I really, really like the bet from Fomitsa. And it's going to make it very difficult for Lazarova to call.
It certainly is. 30% pot bet. I mean, she may just want to look him up as
Well, I
a
would want to.
low-cost way of proving, if you know, don't mess me about, son. And
Boom,
I don't hate it.
boom,
I don't hate it at
shakalaka, I
all.
love it. As long as Lazarova thinks that Fomitsa is capable of bluffing there ever, then she must call.
Yeah, and I think that, given that he's inclined to show his cards when he has them, I think Fomitsa should have just flipped his cards over there and forced Lazarova to show her cards on
what
the
she
river to
called
see
her
what
down.
she's calling him down with. Because what he's saying is, I will do zero equity bluffs, or because he isn't going to just muck. If he doesn't even have a deuce there, he's going to want to see what she's got. So, you know, I feel like he should have made her show.
Yeah, you really don't want to show your bluffs, but at the same time, this is a perfect opportunity for Fomitsa to actually show that he is capable of bluffing to get some value later on.
Yeah, he's going to find it very, very difficult to get himself paid, especially if he's any aggression pre-flop seems to shut these other two down. Now, if he's smart, he'll start to use that. But I'm not even going to begin to try and predict what he might do because I have no clue. I haven't actually watched someone play like this before.
So, chat, let us know who you're rooting for. Are you team Yosifov? Are you team Fomitsa? Or are you the
Lazarova, sorry,
Lazarova. Yeah. My memory is just...
Well, we have kind of been on the vodka for 4 hours now, Chris.
Yeah, I'm just gonna blame that. But it's just me with names. I've been struggling it forever, so forgive me if I tend to forget some names. But luckily, I have Kat here who just helps me out whenever I.
And plus, the chat are helping us out because it's J4M5150. I wish and hope that Eva Lazarova will win this tournament. Good game and good luck, Miss Lazarova. Yes.
Chat is loving Miss Lazarova.
Yeah, she's very popular in the chat.
Julie, Dark Angel, Ghost of M, all are rooting for Lazarova, and she has been playing one heck of a poker game. She's been playing well.
She's had some good spots. She's taken those spots. She's run well in the spots.
She's aggressive, and she's just showed that she can call
very low.
A very dicey spot as well. Yosifov finds Queen Jack offsuit. Would like to see him raise from the button, three-handed.
I'm not quite sure. Has he bet out of turn there from the small blind?
It looks like it. I think the small blind misread the situation and put the raise in already, and now Yosifov has second thoughts about his Queen Jack offsuit.
Certainly has.
Let's see if he's right about it.
Yeah. I'd also be interested to see. I mean, I wouldn't like to think this is some kind of angle, and I certainly don't think he's given any indication in the past that is his mode of operation. Oh, okay.
He does just call.
So he doesn't change the action. So that means that bet stands. That stays in the pot. Fomitsa, okay. Interesting.
So Yosifov raises it up to 280. Fomitsa still has to put extra 50,000 in there, I think. And Lazarova is in there as well, so we see a three-way flop. The first family flop we've seen, I think, the whole day. And I agree with Julie that it would be a great story to see Lazarova win this one, coming back from less than one big blind even.
So, an interesting flop all round, up and down for Yosifov. An ace high, still the best hand.
And the gut shot for Fomitsa as well.
Yeah, everybody's got something worth thinking about. I'm still not quite sure what happened with the pre-flop action there. I do think it was an out-of-turn raise from Fomitsa.
Ooh,
wow, and now
that is another... And the ace high is still good, by the way. Ace 3 is still good, but Fomitsa has an open and a straight draw and a flush draw. And a king. Yeah. That completes a straight for Yosifov.
Yeah, he's not getting any money here, I don't think, with three of them in.
Yeah, King of Hearts would have been the sickest card ever. But as it goes, Yosifov will most likely just take this one down with a bet. Let's see what sizing he's gonna go for. I would like him to go for something like 400,000 and try to get some calls from random kings. Because I don't think you're gonna get called. Or just some bluff catchers.
I sort of like an overbet here, personally. For the same reasons, but just, I mean, you've got the stones, so I like an overbet, whether you're bluffing or you have the nuts in his exact spot there. Given the pre-flop waffle, where there was some confusion.
So trying to get a call from something like 7x and just...
yeah, who just thinks you're never betting that much with the nuts. Because people do have that mentality. They do sort of have the mindset that if someone makes large bets, they're unlikely to have a great hand, because if they did, they'd want calls. I mean, it's perhaps a flawed mentality, but it is a real thing.
It is a real thing. And Lazarova officially has more than half the chips in play.
She certainly does. She is not messing around.
5 million in chips, to be exact. She started the day with 500,000. We started with 13 players, and she has 10 times that stack. And he's the chip leader, 3 ways, and looking in a very strong position to take down the title.
Oh, and we've just had a tweet about the doubles tag team event, so that's exciting. We have some winners there.
We had a lot of players there,
yeah,
didn't
that
we?
was crazy. We had like 6 tables. So that was Matti Pern and Malia
Matti
Tannbaum.
Pern won this one, did she?
You know
it?
You know these
The
people?
Estonian power couple.
Oh,
yes,
my word.
let's
The
do it.
Estonians are destroying.
We're crushing it.
So congratulations to the tag team winners there for nearly 1,300 euros. Good game.
So if we have any Estonian viewers still here, ooh, and you get a walk with kings.
Yeah, lovely. 8 deuce for the
Give
for
your
the chip
hearts
leader.
out for Matti Birn and his partner. I think our tracker Mary is good friends with her. Miley Tannbaum, yes. So good job for Miley and Matti.
Nice.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Chrissy Plays is still with us. He was with us when we first started. He said hello, Cookie. So he was up to date with stuff.
Okay.
And
So
he
knew
hasn't
about your
said anything for
tattoo.
6 hours, and he's still in there.
Right, that's
Yeah.
because he was busy winning poker events, you know?
It looks like...
You can't be talking to the likes of us when you're winning poker events, Chris. Come on now.
yeah.
Oh, he's back in the chat. Whoop, whoop, hello.
Yeah, whoop, whoop. For the Estonian dream. He's been called worse.
They're talking about Daro Kearney, an Irish pro player that we
Oh,
all
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. So Slowdoke is his nickname. So it sounds like you're being rude when you call him that, but it's actually his genuine online nickname, so it's fair enough. I think Doke is generally recognised as a short stack ICM knit fold to 2 big blinds and make it work master.
He's been having some very good results, as much as
years.
I've seen from Instagram and his Instagram stories.
Oh,
He's
the
been
guy-
crushing it
yeah,
online
well,
and
for
live.
years.
And
Yeah, but for
well,
like
for
the
years,
last
definitely.
15 years or something.
That
I mean,
for
the
sure.
guy's a monster.
And I was lucky enough to be able to commentate with him in Slovakia, and it was a good time.
Yeah, he's a good
Definitely, he
bloke.
knows what he's talking about, and he knows his poker.
Yeah, he's
To
a lovely
survive
guy.
in this industry for 15 years,
Exactly,
it takes...
and yeah, more than survive. He's done very, very well. But he's lovely. I mean, he's so open. The disparity between my play and Doke's play is actual universes. And yet last night when I finished, I texted him, I sent him a hand, and he's straight back responding, saying, well, maybe you should have done this, should have thought about
that's
this.
awesome.
Which is fantastic to have a pro player at his level who's prepared to just talk to me for 5 minutes, no mark cap, you know, playing micro stakes tourneys, and he still takes my requests and my hands really seriously, and it makes me feel great. So
That's absolutely just
Yeah.
just shows the kind of guy
he is super.
there is. Yeah. Hello, Doggy R5 to you as well. Ciao, ciao.
Is that hello in Estonian?
Yes, ciao.
Ciao.
Yeah, ciao.
Oh, I thought you were saying ciao like an Italian ciao.
Yeah, well, it's
C-I-A-O.
kind of we
Ciao.
pronounce it as ciao, but
But
ciao,
it's
ciao,
ciao.
ciao.
Wow, okay, I've learnt a new word. How exciting.
Yeah, but I think like ciao is very international. A lot of countries say just ciao.
Yeah, I've certainly picked it up since I moved to Malta. Oh, we're going to see a flop here. So A7 on the button, and Queen 8 called by Lazarova with from the
Queen,
big blinds.
Jack and a 3. 2 hearts on the flop, so pair of queens now for Lazarova. And Yosifov does not really love this flop, but he must love this turn. Check, check on the flop, and I want to see check bet from
What?
now. I mean, you
what?
have to try and get some value and protect as well.
I mean, he's
From
scared
all
of
the
his
tens,
kicker,
all
I
the
guess.
kings. I mean, what are you scared about? Well, if you're scared about, you can check back the river. But I mean, I want to see him protect.
No, I agree with you. I think, personally, I would have quite liked to see bet on the flop with the ace of hearts, but I'm a bit aggressive
As it
sometimes,
is.
maybe. So
Lazarova hits 2 pair on the river, gets a little bit of value as well from Yosifov. And if I'm Yosifov, I'm not kicking myself, but I still feel like I want to be betting this turn as a bluff and as a value hand.
yeah, I would definitely agree with that. But it's working out for Lazarova.
Well, lucky.
She's becoming impossible. She's wearing them down psychologically. You know?
And hitting it when she needs it as well. I mean, it is certainly going her way.
Yeah, I mean,
She's playing great, running great.
how do you feel when you get beaten by girls? Now, I
I don't
know
care.
you don't care. I mean,
No.
I feel like a lot of men do. They really don't like it when they feel they're getting pushed around by a woman. And, hashtag not all men, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But there is an element of that. And I've got to be honest, if I end up in this kind of spot, and these two boys probably don't fit this bill, but if I end up in this spot with a real couple of aggressive alpha males and I start to take control, you can see their blood pressure rising. They really, really don't like it.
Yeah,
So-
I've noticed that a lot, and well, comes down to like the mentality in poker in general, that you more often than not come across that is kind of a sexist mentality towards females. But I don't care about females or males. I don't really want to lose to
Anyone.
someone. Yeah, anyone. I'm a very competitive person, and
Sure.
I just try to not lose, and I try to not lose to players who are not even trying to win. Or I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I want to say. At least what comes to your question, I don't care if it's a girl or boy or man or female. I just want to give it my best, and if I lose, I lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually, I'm reverse sexist in that way, that I usually root for the females and hope for them to do well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not
That's
wanting.
just sexism. That's not reverse
Yeah,
sexism. That's just
okay,
sexism.
okay. Well, I guess so. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, you took that quite well. I mean, I love your company. I think you're a lovely boy.
Oh, thank you.
But
Aw.
I have no problem with men being a bit sexist at a poker table, because I find 9 out of 10 times it actually works to my advantage. So
That's true.
I'm very open to a lot of sexist banter in a way that some women perhaps aren't, and rightly or wrongly. Oh, hello.
I am one of those players that you can definitely take advantage, and who will at some point slow play someone I really like. Is it a man or a woman? I don't care. If I like someone, I kind of slow play against them.
You mean
not slow play?
gentle collusion?
Yeah,
Wow.
gentle collusion.
Wow,
I
okay.
soft play against them.
Right, well, if you did that in a tournament I was in charge of, I would give you a penalty. So
Well,
you've been warned, Chris. Don't
yeah.
let me see that kind of nonsense
The
at my tables.
All right.
Now, this is interesting because we've got some back doors. I thought she was going to do her lovely little small bets. Now, these are where your small bets start to be pretty good, because if he raises, she's really lost a small amount. If he calls, she's got fairly decent equity. I mean, 21% equity against queens there is, plenty of turns she can continue barreling on. So the small bet is looking pretty juicy at this point.
Any club, any king, any 4, any 8 is a fantastic card, as well as a 3 or an 8. A 10 of diamonds is a very
Not
safe
so
looking.
much. Yeah.
Safe looking card for Yosifov. And his pair of queens does check it over to Lazarov, and let's see if Lazarova takes a free card on the river. 10 is not a good card to continue bluffing on.
I would recommend she just sees if she can spike it here. That said, she's been so consistent with her small bets that actually she set herself up for playing this in this way, and it not costing her as much as it might do if she went barreling madly. So
Is now a time for Yosifov to start raising and try to protect his pair of queens out of position?
She's definitely indicating that she has something she's not giving up. So we realise she's super, super light, but for me, I would be raising because I think she has something here. So I feel like it's not even protection, it's just pure out value at this point to raise. But maybe he smells she's super light because he's not going for it.
Ooh, and a 7 of clubs, so a pair of 7s for Lazarova now. With a king kicker, wouldn't blame Lazarova if she thought that her 7s are good here.
I agree.
But they have, I think there's decent amount in the pot already. And the 7s are not always good, so you don't have to go for thin value, just check it down.
Yeah, I like that. And I feel like, given we're three-handed, given she's chip leader, I feel like she actually lost a lot less there, bearing in mind the strength of his hand, than she could have.
I think she feels quite good about her check on the river.
Yeah.
There.
I do wonder what would have happened if it hadn't been a club and she hadn't actually hit something. Because that does change everything, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You feel a lot more vindicated at not barreling that river when you've made a pair.
But as it is, Yosifov now up to 37 big blinds. It might become a big grind between these two, or maybe if Fomitsa finds a double up somewhere between those 3 players, because they are fairly deep stacked still. The blinds have gone up to 50 and 100,000. Well, they've been for a while now. And also they changed the blind structure that the blinds go up every 30 minutes now. So before that, it was every hour. And now, after having made a deal, it's every 30 minutes. So the blinds are going to go up fairly often. 30 minutes is still a long time to
It
be
is three-handed. 30
three-handed.
minutes is fair enough, especially when you've got this guy's clearly an experienced dealer. He's shuffling quickly. I mean, there's not a lot of faffing
Downtime.
about. Yeah.
Yosifov, I love this hand. It's one of my favorite hands.
I love players who say, "I love this hand. It's my favourite hand."
I know.
Uh-huh.
The more I speak,
Oh,
the more of a
hello.
fish I am.
I
7
love this girl.
deuce of diamonds she calls. I love the call, by the way. I think she should call with any suited hand, and she's sticking with the plan. King 8-3, whole bunch of nothing for both of these players.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way, hydrated pot. Stay hydrated, pot. Letting us know that we've been online for 8 hours already. This doesn't seem like 8 hours.
32 ounces.
We need a liter of water. I think we've consumed more.
I've well consumed more than a litre there.
Maybe not water, but still.
So Donna, who is a lady, obviously, it says there's still a lot of sexism in poker, but there are a lot more ladies actually playing poker nowadays and crushing it on the tables. This is true. I mean, we are seeing some big results for women in the last couple of years, sort of across the board. The online numbers have actually reportedly increased in the last 2 years. We're up to about 18%.
18?
Yeah, of online players are women, so that's fantastic. The live percent figure still rocks around 5 to 7%. I'm led to believe that local regular tournaments actually have a higher percentage of women than these kind of bigger travelling tournaments. But it makes sense. I mean, quite often women are primary carers of infants, and that makes it a little bit harder to get away for 5 days. So,
Absolutely.
Fomitsa, what are you going to give us? We really need to get Fomitsa putting his cards on that green square, because we are living in a sort of magical mystery tour with him at the moment.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out Fomitsa, and I've been watching him play for 8 hours.
Oh, there we go. He's been told.
Instead of just shoving, he raises it up with ace-2 softsuit, and interesting to see what Lazarova does here.
I mean, I like a 3-bet from her, but then she does have a stack behind her that she really doesn't want to tango with. That said, I feel like she should be raising and just trying to get this in. You've got to take shots at this short stack at this point. And she will want to be the guy to take him out.
Ooh, and Fomitsa gets a fold from a dominating ace-8.
I see why she did it. I mean, given his track record, I don't hate any of her actions really. They're call, fold, or raise.
So, do you think if Fomitsa had shoved, would have Lazarova called there? Does the raise look stronger there than a shove, actually?
Well, on normal cases, I would say yes, but we have seen that a couple of times now out of Fomitsa. These small raises off 12 big blind stack. I would have preferred to see her raise. That's the option I would have taken. And if you get pushback or action from Yosifov behind you, then fine.
Just
you can
make a
shut down and
small
give up.
3-bet and show that you're willing to put it in against Fomitsa.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I see that. Do a weirdly small 3-bet and just get him in.
Because I don't think Yosifov is going to get out of hand there,
No,
randomly 4-betting.
No, I 100% agree. I think he can maybe call a little bit wide if she just flats the open, but no.
Yeah.
But equally, I don't mind. I see where she's coming from, just binning that ace-8, frankly. And we know it's not fair. We know it is not fair with her because we've seen her take on short stacks before with
not at
very
all.
loose holdings. So
she definitely had her reasoning behind the fold, and I don't blame her. I guess this race just looked so strong from Fomitsa. Dan Jones wants to know who the commentators are, and you have already been answered by Dark Angel and Putin Bear. Yes, my name is Christian Lars, and I'm joined by Kat Arnsby. I think you all already know Kat Arnsby, and
hello.
I'm your local Christian boy.
Christian?
Christian is my name.
Christian the Christian.
Christian the Christian.
So I'm loving this. We're seeing Lazarova again. Now she's clearly opting to raise a massive percentage of hands. Oh, and she has actually got a call there, and she is pretty crushed.
She is pretty crushed, and Fomitsa just Sporting that small... Ooh, that's an interesting flop as well. It got shot straight draw from Lazarova. Fomitsa with 2 overs and a flush draw and a very, very shallow stack. I want to see a small bet now. Now I really love those small bets.
Yeah, the small bets have really been working for her, and she's been so consistent with it that it's really hard for anyone to know what she's doing.
Nice
what
job.
She's holding. Yeah, she's just not giving up. She will not quit.
She's fighting for every pot, and she has her mind set on taking this one down.
Yeah, she looks relaxed. She looks comfortable. She looks like she's bossing these two. She is making them her minions.
Absolutely.
She's loving it.
Dark Angel says something interesting. It's actually nice to have male dealers on the final table for a change, because that has been the meta of TV tables and dealers, to have attractive female dealers every single time.
Oh, has it? Wow.
Well, as long as, in my experience, that has been the case. So.
Do you know, I watch a lot of stream poker, and I've genuinely never noticed. Now, that's crazy. That's even worse in a way, that I'm literally just like scrubbing these people out. They're just part of the furniture. They're the equipment. You know, I haven't even noticed, but I see the logic.
So it's nice to see a female point of view, that it's sometimes good. Well, good to have male dealers as well. It shouldn't matter in that sense.
Well, I mean, having been in charge of, or part of the team in charge of tournaments that have streams, I feel like the instinct is to put your best dealers on there. So maybe it's a case of female dealers outstrip male dealers. I don't know. I don't know. But
maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the lookout for that now, Donna.
It's something interesting to keep an eye on, because I have seen many times where people have said that nope, she's not, or she or he is not good enough. Get me someone else, not based on the skill of the dealer, but based on the way they look like.
Okay, well, there's always going to be people like that. We can't eliminate these people. We can just feel a bit sorry for them.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So Lazarova going to the flop. Quite grossly dominated, but we've seen that doesn't always form a problem for her. She takes pots with absolute air quite regularly, so...
Gets another chance of doing that on a 10-6-4 flop, because none of these players flop anything, and now Lazarova has an open-ended straight draw.
I think she should be betting this most of the time, to be honest. She now has a fairly decent chunk of equity. And unfortunately for Yosifov, he is a little bit on the passive side, which makes him that little bit easier to play against.
And it's going to be very difficult for Yosifov to call, because there are many good river cards for yourself besides a king and a queen. And another strong showing from Lazarova.
And interestingly, we saw her size up a bit there. I mean, she was betting about 40% pots.
And I love it.
There, so she's definitely got a process going on in her brain. I don't believe she's an inexperienced player. She's either an online player, or she's playing a lot of small local comps that don't end up getting, the scores aren't recorded.
She knows what she's doing. I agree with you. And I think she might be someone who is just trying to burst into the live scene, and well, as her biggest result coming from a couple of weeks ago. And
well, maybe she just won a Sati. I mean, it's very traditional that if you live locally to a live event, that the MPN PT is coming to your locality, your venue will have satellites, live satellites for it. So for all we know, she could have just been a bit pissed one night, entered a Sati, won the seat.
I'm really interested about how many players of this main event field actually satellited in, and how many bought straight in, because we do have a lot of satellites running.
Sure, yeah, I think there is a fairly high percentage of satellite qualifiers. Equally, it is just about low enough that if someone's committed and they want to buy in direct, they can manage it. So
yeah.
My instinct is it's a fairly even split.
You think so? I would have guessed so as well. Something like 40-60, maybe even 50-50. Dark Angel has an interesting point about the perving of the dealers.
Yeah, well, she's a Twitch mod in some tough streams, so I'm sure she sees it. But I mean,
I think that's about everything in a male-dominated world.
Sure.
You get to see a lot, especially in the internet. You just have a lot of...
Yeah, the anonymity kicks in. So people are very confident to be quite revolting sometimes when no one knows who they are. But I mean, if we're brutally honest, Donna, we have to say that women are not completely free of that. What we see in poker streams is that it's mainly men. I mean, if you've got a 95% male audience, they do
obviously
kind of rub each other up.
Yeah.
But I've been in female-only chat groups where there's quite a lot of perving going on.
Of course, I mean...
So, you know, it's not a male thing. Not exclusively a male
I think
thing.
it's more of like internet thing.
I would agree. And Twitch
as you said,
chat can be toxic.
anonymity of it
Yeah.
is a big factor. Lazarova just calls from the button. I think I
she's
like
mixing
it
it up,
against
yeah.
Pomitsa's 8 or 7 big blind stack. You don't really want to raise fold this hand. You don't want to raise call.
No.
So play some pots in position, especially if you think the big blind isn't going to punish your limps. 10, 10, and a deuce. So let's see if Lazarova can make something happen one more time and just to make a better hand fold.
Yeah, well, she is keeping it up.
Yeah, my money is going to be on Pomitsa folding here.
Boom. And she wins another pot. She is just stacking and stacking here.
Bulldozer.
Yeah, these boys really don't know how
to handle her.
No,
Yeah, I agree.
not at all. Honestly, I don't blame them. She's making herself a really tricky candidate here.
Pomitsa is going to have to go all in sooner rather than later. And it's going to be interesting to see how Lazarova plays the heads up and how her opponent, whoever it is, going to adjust to it. March is not a fan of Fornitsa. Fornitsa, well, he has made it to final top 3. He has guaranteed himself more than 20,000, so he's doing something right. I think he might be, as far as we know, years ahead.
Yeah, he could have a metagame structure that we just don't even understand as yet. But
as far as we understand, yes, I think it's something we both agree on, that he's being outclassed here.
Yeah, I've got to agree with Dan Jones on this one. The guys being passive, there's ICM pressure, but they really need to play back. Couldn't agree with you more, Dan, to be honest. There's no way, I'd like to think there's no way I'd be letting this lady get away with this kind of run.
And having them made a deal that the winner gets the extra 8,600, there is ICM pressure for you to actually just play for the win.
Yeah.
You don't gain anything from laddering up anymore. So there's nothing to wait for. The ICM pressure means the only one who actually gets this at this moment seems to be Lazarova. That she needs to chip up, chip up, chip up. Is that an all-in or no? Just a quick check, check on a flop.
Yeah.
And a pair of 8s, and it looks like a flush draw as well on the turn for Lazarova, and she
we didn't
takes
see
down.
a bet from her there, but she may think she has seen Yozanov's play pretty slow sometimes with big hands, so she could have believed he spikes the ace, and she just wanted to realise her equity there. So that's fair enough, I think. But I am slightly surprised.
And I think now would be the great time to put in a small bet, and Lazarova.
There we go. She's done it.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Wow, so it's a crazy overbet. I love
and
this
she
girl.
overbets it with quite marginal hand, but she feels like Yosifov never has an ace or a 9 there, or like very rarely has an ace or a 9 then. And I don't think that's a bluff.
No, I would agree with you. I think
it's
an
like a
overbet.
merge bet.
Yeah, trying to get him to call with king high because it looks so crazy.
Ooh, and she does get a call. What an absolute crush from Lazarova. Gets a call, overbetting with a third pair.
Wow.
And she's owning both of these dudes.
Yeah, she really... Look at his
Yosifov
face.
is not... I'm so happy for Lazarova.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel sorry for Yosifov in a way. I don't feel sorry for him. It's a fair play. Nothing wrong happened with him.
I don't hate his call either.
Yeah,
like
same, exactly.
But she nailed it. All these small bets, and then she comes out of nowhere with this huge bet.
Fantastic bet on the river.
She's an absolute boss, this girl. And now, I mean, she's banked 23k already. She's looking like, at the moment, she's definitely the favourite to pocket the other nearly 9,000. We may see Lazarova popping up in bigger buying events, to be honest.
Absolutely. Because she's doing, obviously, she's doing great in these ones. And
come on, Fomitsa. We need to get those chips in, my friend. There is no waiting now. The time for waiting is over, young man.
And after that sick move, Lazarova has more than twice than both of the other players combined. She's crushing it.
I have never heard that statement on a stream, that one player has got more than double the other two combined.
That is some muscle.
Get it in.
Muscle.
Yeah. In. Okay, he's doing it.
Let's see if he's gonna get called. Lazarova is probably not gonna call,
no.
but Yosifov is not gonna call as well.
Get your camera out, Mark.
Get your camera, Mom. Mom, get the camera.
Is that your mum?
No.
Your mum's
It's
got
just,
quite
it's just
hairy
a meme.
arms.
It's just a meme.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a meme. Mom
I-
gets a camera.
I'm
It's
not
quite
very
an
up
old
on
meme
memes.
as well. It's like from the old school internet days.
The old school internet
Yeah,
days.
like from the early 2010s.
Those days don't exist. There is no old school.
It is. No,
early
there is actually a
2000s.
very different era of internet. Maybe like mid to late 2000s were very different than they are now.
Relay chat. That's the old era. That's the old school days of the internet.
Ooh.
Wow.
Kazaa. Email.
Were you born then after the internet existed? No.
No.
No. Okay.
No, I mean,
Okay.
yes, in a way that internet existed since the 60s, but I mean,
Yeah,
the
but like
mainstream internet, yeah.
People having it in their houses, kind
Was
of.
it like
existed.
the early 90s when they started to have like dial-ups or something? Or late
yeah,
90s?
mid 90s, I think. Well, mid
90s.
90s when you could kind of go to anyone's house and they would sort of have it. But I mean, I was a person running around in 1998 saying, "Well, the internet will never catch on." So that's how in tune I was.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was
You-
17 years old,
You
and I was
could've-
like, "No, this
Couldn't
is-
have been more wrong.
No, I turned down those Microsoft shares, and that was a mistake."
And now you're commentating with a dude who has Wi-Fi tattooed on his back,
Yeah.
Wi-Fi sign. So
Do you?
yeah, I have a big Wi-Fi sign on my back
Oh,
because
cool.
the internet is my best friend.
Well, could you make the Wi-Fi work? I mean, if your Wi-Fi goes down again, then can we just use your back
Look how good.
somehow?
I always thought about it. How cool it would if I had like a microchip under that Wi-Fi sign that like put out
Put out
free
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi for people.
Yeah, I mean,
and I
that-
would just get like cancer or something, but
Yeah.
it would be worth it.
Doesn't sound like it'd be super good for your health, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna just stick with the tattoos.
Why Donna's taking the mick out? I don't know what ICQ is, but she says Hotmail like it's old school. I've still got a Hotmail account. Like,
Me too. I don't use it though, but I still have it. I think everybody now has a Gmail. If you're lit or femme, you need to have a Gmail account.
I don't know what you
ICQ,
mean
it
there,
seems like a
Marta.
messenger thing, isn't it?
I have no idea. I don't know what ICQ is.
Dark Angel.
Internet chicken questions. I bet there's a lot of questions about chickens on the internet, so I reckon it's that. And we're all, I don't know, we're all in again with King 8. I love it for Mitza. Now he's finally getting his 5 bigs in. She's been known.
And Lazarova
No.
folds.
Yeah,
I
it's
wouldn't
a
have blamed
considered
her.
fold. Considered fold because we have seen that she's not afraid to snap off with Jack High. So
Oh, the MSN, Chad. Well, now we're going
IRC,
into
I
that
know what that
nostalgia. MSN was the best ever.
Was
I loved
it?
it. Yes.
I
You can
started
nudge.
using the internet in, I think, I'm going to say 2002 to play poker. And that was it.
Ooh,
I
really?
literally hadn't used it before. I'd maybe checked emails like 3
You-
times.
Were you playing on like Planet Poker or do you-
Paradise was
Paradise,
was
yeah,
my
Paradise
first site
Poker.
that I really committed to, and I absolutely loved it, and I was devastated when it went away.
Yeah, Paradise Poker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember the stories of like $1 million free
Just
rolls.
crazy action. And I had my first big score on there when I won their daily $3 rebuy, which was a huge tournament for me. And it was about $2.5 grand I won, and that was
Wow,
amazing
that's
for
a
me.
good-
Yeah, it was my first sort of decent score because I come from a sit and go background, you see, because I've been used to dealing them. So
Fantastic. My first score was very similar, from a $2 dollar rebuy, and for a similar amount, I felt like a baller
yeah,
instantly.
Oh, I was so happy, and I cashed it out and instantly went and blew the lot about 3 days later on shoes and clothes.
Oh, okay. I just drank it off the same day.
There we go. And I think back to that time now and think, wow, what if I'd used that as a bankroll and moved
Yeah,
up and,
yeah.
you know, at a time when it was very possible to move up quite quickly through the stakes.
I
life
went
might be
past so
different.
many times. I just didn't care. Well, but it was so much easier to make money as well.
Sure.
You didn't care if you went past. You just made it back in 2
You
days.
weren't old enough to play poker in 2002,
Yeah.
surely. Oh, an illegal
Yeah,
one.
I didn't start in 2002 as well.
No?
I started in 2006 or 5.
Okay.
So I was getting on that legal level. Famitsa goes all in one more time, and I think Josifa might call now.
Oh, it's an
Ooh,
ugly
and it
spot,
would
but it's
not be a
hard
good
not
call.
to call.
I mean, I can't say it would not be a good call, but it wouldn't work out well for him.
No, especially as we've actually just seen Lazarova fold at King 9 exactly as well. So even his he's got 2 9s if he does call.
He's definitely thinking about it. 780,000 against a... Is that a 9 big blind shove?
Yeah, it certainly is. And he wants those chips so bad, man. He wants those chips because he does not want it to be Lazarova who takes out Fomitsa. He does not want that happening.
I kind of feel like
Gamble,
if
gamble.
anyone is gonna give Lazarova a fight for her money, if you're Yosifov, you feel like you need those chips to do it.
He needs every penny. The way she's playing and the psychological state she's probably put him in by just winning so many of the pots three-handed, he really wants those chips. I like the fold, though. I think it's definitely on the right side of disciplined. But he's getting himself into a position where he can't now sit around too long. He needs to, I was going to say, start shoving on Fomitsa's big blind, but Lazarova is giving him no quarter.
Yeah.
He's going to have to be three-betting because she is opening what looks like 100% of hands from the button, which I don't hate. I kind of like her style because Fomitsa is on the nitty side.
And the blinds have gone up one more time, 60k and 120,000 with a 20k ante.
My word.
Which means there is more than 200,000 in the middle every single hand, and every single orbit you will lose 200,000 if you don't play. So the blinds are gonna gobble you up so fast, so you need to make something happen. I think this is one of the only chances you get, but Lazarova still raises. 10 deuce offsuit.
I like her strategy. To me, this is a three-betting moment.
Let's see if Yosifov listens to you.
He's got to take these chances. Like you say, second place is third place. Second place means nothing now. Oh, just a flat. But again, if you've got a very tight player behind you, I suppose a flat there becomes a little bit more sensible.
Mart wants to know if we're commentating somewhere from the casino, and yes, we are. We are in the office rooms right next to the media table.
Yep, out the back to the right of the feature table square.
So
and 5FM wants to know, can we know the names of the 28-year-old child and his mum? Well, no, we can't, 5FM, because I'm never talking to you ever again. So can someone, please, who's got control of this situation, just bar this guy? I want him barred from Twitch. I want him barred from poker. I want him barred from Planet Earth. Kristen's mum. Oh. I'm on max tilt now. That is life tilt.
But Yosifov, meanwhile, has made a trip
he
8.
Hit that 8 on the river.
And first bit of bad luck for Lazarova, because she was ahead with a pair of 10s prior to that happening. And let's see how those players handle this situation. Oh, catch you're a treasure.
I feel like, sorry, I should answer the question. It's Christian Lars is my 28-year-old son, and I'm Kat Arnsby. There's your answer.
Yeah. I wish I had like a handle or a Twitter or something you could follow me on, but I don't. I don't have it. We Eastern Europeans, we don't use Twitter. We use Instagram to get our point across the world.
Use your words, Chris. Use your words.
Yeah, and our words and our Facebook account.
Not just pouty selfies of you with a little kitten nose and some ears or whatever you Insta-kids are doing. I don't know.
Insta-kids.
Yeah. Oh, look, there it is. There was the Lazarova stare. If you caught that there, the laser eyes of Lazarova.
I think she's going to call.
Do you? I feel like she's going to fold. She looks a bit different from that time that she did actually call really light.
She has shown tendencies to call, and players have been bluffing her. And I don't think she wants to fold it.
No, I agree. She doesn't want to fold it, but I don't know. The hand on the temple, she looks more like she's worried there.
So you think she's going to find a fold? Yes, you don't.
She just looks different. I could be wrong. Maybe she just is balancing
I believe
her
you
face
with
ranges.
the live reads. Your live reads have been spot on whole day and your whole life, I feel like.
He didn't get laser eyes. Last time he bet into her, he did not get the laser eyes, and he's getting them this time. So I wonder, is she considering a raise just to bluff? I mean, terrible time to do it, but... That thank you.
I got an MPN hoodie. I'm so happy. I haven't been happier since
you got a red bet.
The last time I got an MPN. I didn't actually get the red bet. I just took it from you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I was okay with it, Chris.
I love it.
You're a struggling actor. I like to support the arts.
And she's still... and you are correct.
Yeah,
you are
just
correct.
Something different about the way she was sitting, the way she was touching her face.
You know these things. You are a wizard, aren't you?
I don't know. Honestly, live poker, because I'm a mainly online player, I play multiple tables and I play long sessions. I can get a little bit bored at a live table because there's one hand. I don't like to sit there watching an iPad. I don't think it's cool. I'm not going to sit there reading a book. So this becomes kind of my game. It's just really studying people and looking at how they move and twitch their mouth and touch their glasses.
And you are doing a great job at it. I'm not saying I'm surprised. It amazes me how you pick off on those things, because I thought that she's gonna find a call like almost always there.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect
just
actually
knew straight away.
a call may have been the right move. To be honest, it may have actually been mathematically the right move. But if she's got a scent on the guy, her scent was right. I mean, he had a great hand, and he's betting into it with the best hand he's had in eons.
Meanwhile, Jason is scared of getting kicked in the balls.
Well, it's happening, Jason. There's no need to be scared, darling.
You can't be afraid of something that is going to happen anyway.
No, you might as well just be resigned. Okay, Fomitsa, what are you doing? Queen 7-3, easy game.
Ooh. And Fomitsa takes down another pot, up to 1.2 million now.
And I love her smile. She's got such a good attitude, because I'd be getting annoyed now, but like, can I please just have a hand when he shoves? And she's smiling, and, you know, I know she's won money, but it's still nice to see someone having a sort of happy attitude.
Things are still very much going her way.
Well, then, to be fair to her, Chris, she's making him go.
Oh yeah,
in
for
a lot
sure.
of spots.
No, it's not.
You know,
it's not something that is just happening
no,
for her.
she's not just getting
She's
dealt
making it happen.
top 5% every hand.
I think we've seen from her more often than from anyone else to make worse hands work. Like get a better hand to fold, and also get value from some very marginal situations. So she's been rocking it.
Now, Fomitsa really needs to be moving quite a lot. Fair enough, 8-5, probably not it.
Yeah, and Lazarova, from what we've seen, she's going to at least call, what it looks like, a call. Yosifov, I think, will check behind her.
Yeah, I don't really fancy Jack. There's not
Jack
much
8
point there with
plays
Jack 8,
decently post-flop. So 300k in the middle. 6, 3, and a 6 on a flop.
Yeah, blind on blind, that's could be an interesting flop, and she clearly knows it, so off she goes again. I love this girl, and min bet as well. She's
And what do you do with your Jack 8? Even if you're
you
getting
do?
bluffed, there's nothing you can do there.
You
You don't want to keep
some
floating.
extravagant raise. You know, how clever do you need to be at that point?
Yeah, you don't really want to start raising, and you don't want to start calling, because Lazarova has shown that she is willing to bet, and she has those small sizings as well that you're just annoyed to play against. And what a fantastic showing from her.
Yeah, and Yosifov, he just gave the absolute side eye there. He wants the other guy out. My God, does he want him gone?
He can't wait for the heads up.
No, he's getting a little bit frustrated. He's probably feeling a bit tired, to their credit. I mean, I know they've probably got a bit of adrenaline from the fact that they've cashed quite large, but, I mean, they've now been playing, well, it's coming up for 11 o'clock here, so we're coming up for 9 hours of play, and they have had a decent amount of breaks, etc., but it's still a long day. Definitely opening this.
And it's not just this day, because it's a third day of this tournament, so they've been grinding it out for a few days at least.
Yeah.
Most likely been out having a good time at night time as well.
It's really hard not to when you get back to the hotel and there's cocktails and, you know.
And Fomitsa, he's fighting. He's been in the short stack, but he looks kind of comfortable. He's looked the same way the whole final table. He's just sitting back, just waiting. He doesn't seem to have this pressure like work his magic on him, or he just doesn't seem to feel the pressure.
No, he's got a determined look on his face. This hand is, it might be a bad spot to start making moves.
He does call 900k in the middle. 900k behind and 600k in the middle, and the pair of tens now as well for Fomitsa. 10 and a 4, and if Lazarov had any chance of winning... Well, oh yeah, Lazarov has a pair of kings. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, she has. It's gone a bit messy.
That's a cooler on the turn.
But she didn't raise pre, which was unlike her, but she's trying to get him involved in a pot.
She's not getting away for a pair, from a pair of kings.
she can't do. She wants him to get all the way in.
And let's see if Fomitsa shoves here. I would love a shove here. If you're ever shoving with a hand like 7-5, then you should shove here as well.
I would say that Fomitsa is never shoving with a hand like 7-5, unfortunately.
So
I could be wrong, but
should Fomitsa just call here as well?
Yeah, well, for the exact kind of reason you said. You know, you have to You have to balance, or you have to just proudly be the least balanced player in the world. Oh no, he's gone
He
for
does
it.
go all in, and I don't think Lazarova can fold.
No, not for the amount,
Getting
definitely
3 to
not.
1 top pair.
So 5s, 6s and kings is what she's looking for on this river.
Exactly, 5, 6 or a king to eliminate the Estonian in third place. It's not looking like a 5, 6 or king. Queen of diamonds, and the
No.
Estonian manages to find a double up one more time.
Wow.
And for first time in a while, Lazarova takes a hit, and now Yosifov is not a happy man.
No, he is gutted there. That's ruined his day. That said, now that they are back to equal, I would like to see Yosifov be more aggressive than he was last time that him and Famitsa were equal. I appreciate when Famitsa went down really low. It might be in his benefit to knit up and try and get heads up. But now they're equal, he needs to play more aggressive than he did last time he was in this situation.
And all of a sudden, Lazarova can't feel that comfortable as well. Should she double up one player? All of a sudden, she's the shortest stack.
Sure.
So
I mean, we're getting a little bit into these stacks need to be in pre-flop now.
yeah, the next blinds are going to be 80 and 160,000,
Wow.
which means they're going to be super short stacked. After that, the players still have 20 big blinds, but 320 big blinds, that's not that much. That's as you said, a fish party tournament.
A little
Fish party
bit.
tournament, they
Sure.
usually go for like 15 to 20 hands. I'm not saying, I think this one is going to last for a bit longer, as long as there are many coolers, but still.
Yeah, I think that really annoyed Lazarova, actually. I feel like for the first time in about the last hour or so, she's just had a twinge of, right, I've had enough of this now. You're annoying.
Enough is enough.
Yeah. you need to go home.
But he
mate.
is annoying, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I would be annoyed as well. I
Yeah,
mean,
as a player, not a person. I'm sure he's a lovely, lovely guy. Like,
yeah,
we're-
definitely. That's what I'm saying. In this card-playing situation, you're like, all right,
Yeah.
we've seen enough.
Yeah, yeah. You've had your
On
turn.
with it.
You've got your cash. Now bugger off.
But bugger off, he will not. As long as he has something to say about it. Still fighting. 19 big blinds for him and Yosifov both with 2.3 million. Lazarova still playing well and still the chip leader. Has
Yeah.
about to double than the rest of the players combined. So nothing really like catastrophic going on for her.
No,
It's just
Yosifov-
annoying.
Yeah, it's
like
annoying. Yosifov, I think, is definitely starting to feel the pressure a little bit. Body language is not good there, rubbing his temples. An active yawn, so it's kind of forcing his body to yawn to pump some air around his system. The guy is
Ooh.
getting physically in trouble there, to be honest. So he needs a hit of adrenaline. He needs to win a big pot, and that'll give him a
Something must
spike.
happen, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see if this is the hand where something happens. It kind of looks like it. Ace-10 of
interesting.
spades. Might get some adrenaline going.
Now, I really don't like him just checking this option here. He's done it too many times, and he needs to raise up here. He
Let's
needs
start
build
to
this
make
pot.
something happen. Ace-10 suited.
Yeah.
Very strong hand.
She's given no indication that she's sparing him any blushes come the flop, or the turn, or the river, so he needs to be raising this now. And I think
Lazarova
it is.
is eyeing every single move of Yosifov here. I love the size. More than 3x a little bit, so is not making it easy for Lazarova to just call, and I think Lazarova will call. We will see 860k in the middle, heads up, with not that much behind for Yosifov. 10 is looking good for him, but the king
And she
hits
checks
Lazarova.
it.
Top
Yeah.
pair for Lazarova. Yosifov still has the strongest of 10s. Only losing to a king here.
I'm surprised he didn't bet. I mean, fair play to him, but I'm surprised he didn't carry on there.
I want to see Lazarova bet here and size up a river shove.
Yeah,
Because there are
I
so
would
many
like
10s that Yosifov checks behind.
Yeah,
So
and so many other pairs that he's got.
Yeah,
Ace
and
highs that he doesn't want to fold.
that just cannot fall to a single bet. 400k is
Half
a
the pot.
nice sizing.
Yeah.
1.7 million in the middle should Yosifov call, and leaving Yosifov 1.5 million behind.
He's just really sick of this, isn't he? He's not a happy kitten. He's sick of her betting. He's sick of her taking pots away from him.
And he does call, And let's see the river. River is a 9 of spades, 2 pair for Lazarova. She didn't feel comfortable before. She must feel comfortable now. I don't think Yosifov has queen jack or definitely not 7-6 here.
No, he shouldn't have queen jack too often. Given his stack, I feel like queen jack should have been in on the flop. Oh, sorry, yeah, he should have been betting the flop with queen jack. So
I really want to see a shove here. She goes for a small sizing. Makes it... Try to get 620k out of Yosifov from exactly what he has, but it looks so strong, doesn't it? All of a sudden, I mean...
cycle.
And he does score.
Yeah, speed of her cards there, she knew she was good. That was definitely... I reckon she was hoping to get him to go crazy with something, with a king.
And she's up to 6.4 million now with Fomitsa, 2.3 million, and Yosifov with 880k. I mean, Lazarova is in a very good situation here. That's exactly what you want to see happen. You want to see Yosifov short stack, and you want to kind of just blind out Fomitsa. Though Fomitsa hasn't made it easy to blind out as well. Dan really likes the sizing. March likes it as well, and I don't know. I really would have liked to see a fold. I guess maybe a shove would have seen a fold, but still, I mean, at least she gets the value. She does get the 620k, as we see Mary.
She can fold there, can she? If he shoves the river, I mean, it's...
No, I mean, I would have liked to see a shove from.
oh, sorry, from Lazarova.
Lazarova,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, with you, okay.
Because her opponent had less than a pot size left.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that maybe she just thought her hand was so strong that she would just rather take the option to get a little bit of skinny value. But given the stack sizes, I would lean towards agreeing with you.
March think that 19 big blinds is a sharp pre-flop from ace-10 suited.
I agree with you,
think?
Marginov.
Yeah?
I agree with you, frankly. That's what I would have been doing. Because what it does is if you start doing that, when you actually do pick up a really massive hand, every time you've done it previously increases your chances of getting called. And the way she's been playing, you don't want to be in pots with her like that. Even in position, I mean, she's an animal.
But I don't like the Marginov's reasoning behind that it's not aces or kings that you can do it with. Because if you only do it with aces or kings, you're kind of like letting everybody know what you have when you do it with aces or kings.
Is he not implying there that with aces or kings you wouldn't shove? His raise was more suited to a hand as strong as aces and kings, I think is probably what he means.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, I quite like the shove pre-flop with ace-10, honestly.
And it has happened. The blinds have gone up one more time with 80 and 160,000. So that means our short stacks are even shorter now. 5 big blinds and 13 big blinds.
Discussing the hand there.
Yeah. Would be interesting to hear what they had to say about it.
Yeah, they don't have mics, our players. They, you might pick them up on the overhead mic, I guess.
I think none of them did anything like wrong there. I think it's fine to limp call with king 9 offsuit there. I think the raise is fine as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean,
no, I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. But it's just taking into account the dynamics and your own psychological state. At some point, you have to show this girl, I'm the boss. I'm going to fight you with my short stack, and there we go.
Goes all in with a king 10, gets a fold from Fomitsa from the same hand, and Lazarova can call with 4 deuce as well, so...
She cannot.
Nice shove from Yosifov here.
Yeah, I would say Fomitsa seems to be the least unaffected so far.
Isn't he? Yeah.
Out of the two lads who are kind of getting shoved around a little bit, it seems to be water off a duck's back. But then I guess if your strategy is simply just wait till you hit monsters, then I guess it's easier to be relaxed.
Yeah, March, I know, I see where you're coming from. I just don't 100% agree with it. Just because I'm going to give you the reason. If I'm small blind, I'm limping to shove here with my small aces. Let's say a hand like ace 2, ace 3, ace 4, that I don't want to shove 20 big blinds in with myself, but I'm more than willing to play aggressively against the raise and have some fold equity there and have some more money in between. So this is why I sometimes like a raise from a hand like ace 10 there, just because you want to get smaller aces or something like king check offsuit to shove all in there, so you can call. You kind of raise to induce more action from Lazarova.
Yeah, but Lazarova was the small blind. So
yeah, that's what I mean.
Limps,
So if I'm Lazarova and I have something like ace 2s, I'm very happy to limp shove there against the raise, which is why I don't want to limp call all in for 20 big blinds with a hand like ace 2s. That's my reasoning behind it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
But once she has limped, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but the point I think we're discussing is it might have been to his interest to just shove his 20 bigs over her limp.
Which is why I was trying to explain that why I like the raise. If I'm him, I like the raise just to get some reshoves from Lazarova, from like ace 2, ace 3, ace 4,
Yeah,
that don't really want to shove 20 big blinds, which would be a mistake to shove, but is definitely not a mistake to limp shove all in there. Especially if there are a bit more aggressive dynamics at the table.
Well, I don't think Lazarova showed a huge propensity to kind of limp.
True that the table dynamics weren't there for it, but as a standard play, I would definitely like to see a raise there with ace 10. But there's definitely many schools of poker, and there's not one right way, and there's so many things to consider. But I definitely understand where the raise from ace 10 is coming from. I don't think it's a bad raise, and it just didn't work out for him this time. Fomitsa, ace 2s, shoves against Lazarova's raise with 10-9, and look at that. Fomitsa, who we thought is going to be blinded out, is battling hard. Wacky Jackson.
You're getting ganged up on here, Chris. We all agree with Marginov.
I see where you're coming from, and I'm very much used to being ganged up against. So it's
let me find my
I don't take it personally.
violin.
I don't take it personally.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I only play tournament poker. So for me, once she limps there, I just don't want to give her any quarter. And if she's limped aces, good game.
So yeah, but think about it.
She's limped a lot. She's limped enough that I feel like ace 10 would be a moving hand with 20 bigs there.
Yeah,
and I appreciate.
Why do you want to waste
poker,
a hand like ace 10 to just get one big blind if you have a chance to get more?
I think she can call you with less. I really do. I mean, and she can call you even with racy hands. You want the race. You want her to call you with knights. You really do. You want her to call you with king jack suited, king queen suited, all of which she would realistically limp. And if you raise, she has shown she's not afraid to call small raises and then play and consistently beat him flop.
This is why I like this raise, because it wasn't a small raise. It was 3.5 big blinds. She put her in a very tough situation to call with a hand like king 9, as well as having position for the rest of the hand. And I think the chat is being a bit results oriented here by the fact that she ended up hitting the top pair and getting paid off, because that was a very fortunate situation to happen for him to have a pair of 10s, ace kicker, and her to have a pair of kings as well. These things usually don't happen, and usually you still make your ace 10 work post flop as well. But I might be wrong here. I mean, I'm not saying I'm 100% sure, but I definitely at least understand where the raise is coming from.
Yeah, I do see where he's coming from. I just feel like a player who's been thrashing me about so consistently, at some point you have to make this and say, right, do you know what? You are getting no more quarter now.
Yeah.
And these cards are going in. And I do feel it opens up more opportunities, both for even lighter bets than ace 10, and then also when you really do have the big value hands. Suddenly you've been annoying the chip leader with 20 big blind shove after 20 big blind shove after 20 big blind shove, completely changing the dynamic in the way you've played. I don't know.
True.
That would be my decision at this point.
Yeah, and it's a fair one, and I see definitely where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I just think that you shouldn't only have a shove or fold or check raise there. I think you should have a raise range there, and I think ace 10 suited is a good hand to have in your raise range.
Yeah, well, fair enough. What else do you have in your raise range there?
I think I want to have like aces, kings, queens, something like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, and then I want to have in my shove range. I want to have my pocket pairs, smaller than queens, maybe smaller than tens, and also my like ace twos, ace threes, ace fours, ace fives that don't play that well both flop, that you don't really want to give free flop for, and you're happy to shove up against him. That seems like a fairly balanced range. So I have my maybe something.
Do you have any light raises?
Yeah, of course.
Sort of
No, I
aces?
mean, yeah. Besides the strong hands, I want to have in my raising range, yeah, something like maybe 6-7 suited,
Wow.
6-4 suited, maybe maybe my suited king rags. That I think yeah, I can balance it out. I can't say by heart, but I think you should have a range there. Maybe I'm giving off a bit too wide raising range, and maybe
it
ace
does
10
sound
suited
quite
is
wide.
not there. But
Yeah, it sounds fairly wide.
as long
I'm
as
just
I have my
wondering how
strong,
much of that you're folding against a player like Lazarova, who has proved that she's not easy to make back down. She's not easy to play post flop. She's not easy to play on the turn. She's not easy to play on the river. So I'm just wondering how much of that range you really have to raise fold then, which I hate from 20 big blinds three-handed when the other guy is matching your stack and is a nit. It is quite a lockdown uber nit.
I think I'm raise folding like very comfortably a hand like king 10 offsuit, king jack offsuit.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't have put king 10 in a raising that range there, but everyone builds their own ranges and plays differently.
Of
don't
course,
they?
and
So
I might be full of like I don't know how I'm acting.
it's
when
an interesting
I'm at
spot. It's
but
a good thing about having the stream. It'll be up on YouTube, no doubt, fairly soon, and I will clip the hand, bang it on my Facebook page, and see if any of my pro friends want to help us sort of get their solvers out and analyse it.
It would be interesting to hear what the pros are thinking about the ace 10, because I really like the sizing. I like the raise because I think by shoving it all in, you are making it easy for Lazarova. You are either she's gonna have an easy fold or an easy call there, and so I think it's gonna be way tougher for her to call out of position and play the flop from there. But
Fair enough. I do see the logic. I'm not denying the logic of it. Maybe
I'm getting
just a bit of a
way
fear
too
monkey.
protective against my logic there.
Yeah,
I
maybe
didn't
I'm
mean
just
it.
a fear monkey. I'm just like, let's go, mate. Let's gamble then. You want to try and beat me in every goddamn pot, woman? Let's do this. And then keep it up would be what I say. So suddenly your 20 big blind showing range is massive because, and again, what you said, she doubles him up. She's in the spot. So I feel like at this point, let's gamble because second place it isn't worth anything. There isn't, you're not worried about busting now really when you're equal stat with the other guy. You need to double up, whether it's by knocking him out or taking her chip. Something's got to happen here.
You need to make something happen. Well, this is at least something we both agree on, that you need to make something happen.
And
how you're going to make it happen is up to yourself.
Surely
if it's going to be by raising or just shipping all in or folding and waiting for a better spot.
I'd love to know what she's saying because are they chatting about hands?
Let's
They're
try
chatting
to
about
hear.
tournaments?
And they stop talking right after.
Second you turn it
Yeah.
up. Why am I whispering?
I don't know. It's just so intense.
It's really silly. I just wondered if she's trying to sort of speech play them. I mean, I love winding men up. I start getting really sexy at this point, really trying to tilt them. I mean, I'm not saying it's nice.
You're a big
I'm not
boy,
a nice
but now.
yeah. I just little comments, little digs. I just love to do this because it really is annoying.
Lazarova just called from the button. We have seen her do it a couple times with a hand similar to that plays decently post-flop.
Yeah.
8-7 suited this time, and that'll bring along Josifov from the small blind, and Fomitsa gets to see a flop for free. 4, 5, and a deuce. So gut shot straight draw for Lazarova, pair of deuces for Fomitsa, and Josifov still has a king high, so not much for him. Check, check, check on the flop. Ace of spades. A fantastic bluff card.
I do expect to see a little bit from Lazarova here.
Lazarova, yeah, that's a perfect card because you still have that 6 to fall back on.
And you are the most likely player at the table to have an ace in your range. I mean, flatting an ace from the button makes perfect sense. Not raising it from either of those other positions does not. So I love a bit of a stab here.
And so she does.
No, I'm with you, Dan Jones. I don't like the limping. I think she got a bit of fear because Fomitsa started playing back out, albeit passively, and calling and then playing flops. I think she changed up a bit too hard. I liked it when she was raising pretty much 100% of buttons. I thought that was a great strategy against that particular player. But I suppose once you've seen him... no, it was the 10 forehand where she limped. That was the first time she limped, actually, so... Yeah, I enjoyed the 100% button raises as well, Dan.
Yeah.
It was making my life good.
But she's making the limps happen as well, and
yeah, she is. Yeah, that's true. Although that wasn't a terrible run out given the action. That worked quite in her favour. Oh my dear, poor old Yosifov. Is that how we saying that right? Yosifov.
Yeah,
like Joseph with a Fov.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm just going out on a limb.
He's really at the end of his wits. I feel this is a man in pain.
And you don't want to see 6-2 soft suit.
Oh, hello.
When you're in pain. Fomitsa, King 10, raises it up to 400,000. And let's see if Lazarova calls here. Maybe she feels like gambling and trying to outplay Fomitsa on the later streets. And also 6-7, it flops decently.
Yeah, and he's been tight enough that's the sort of hand you want to see. Oh, hello.
Ooh, that's an action flop. Opening the straight draw for Lazarova and a pair of 10s with a very good kicker
I
for
love
Fomitsa.
it if she just jams him in here. Just get him in.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's thinking of it.
Wants to see how many chips Fomitsa has left. 1.2 million in the middle, and you're risking 1.7 to win 1.2.
I love it.
Makes a lot of sense to go all in there.
Oh, okay.
Does just call,
I
though.
don't mind the call either on a rainbow board, I suppose. No hearts, though. I prefer a call if there's at least one heart out there.
Yeah.
My strategy there would have just been instant shove, like really aggro, like woohoo, I got you, and really make him to it. See now she's in a position she can't call.
She can't really call Fomitsa. Takes that option away from her. Goes all in himself, and, and he's up to 2.9 million. I don't think Fomitsa has been up to this point, up to 3 million before, so he's chipping up. And Madis wants to know if I know something about that Estonian. No, never have I seen him or have I known anything about him before, even though he is my countrymate.
Estonia is quite a large country, though, isn't it? How many people live there?
1.1 million Estonians.
Yeah,
so
it's unlikely you met them all.
Yeah, well the poker player community is kind of small, though, and and at some point or another you at least see someone.
Well, maybe he's not resident in Estonia.
Yeah.
I mean, people live all over the world, all over Europe, all over everywhere. So maybe he lives somewhere else. Maybe he lives in Bulgaria, for example.
Can very definitely be. He hasn't had many live scores for past 4 years as well, so I haven't had a pleasure to meet him yet, but let's try to make it happen today. Definitely would like to go and congratulate him on his run.
Absolutely.
After this one is over, because he has put on a very good showing.
He certainly gives us the most to talk about.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't fault him there.
Is there going to be another MPN Tallinn? I would go out on a limb and say yes, but I wouldn't know when.
I think it'll be crazy if there isn't. I mean, the players love it. We love it as the people who work for MPN. Everybody loves Tallinn, man. It's like, I'm going to say it's my second favourite place I've ever played poker in my life. Yeah,
that is so cool to hear.
I absolutely love Tallinn. I had an absolute ball. I think the city's beautiful. I think the people are amazing. I absolutely love Tallinn. The only better event I would say was I was in Bucharest. And I think it was more just the invite. I just had a crazy week. All my mates were there. It was just amazing. But Tallinn comes a very close second. Sick venue there.
You just know the right things to say, don't you?
Oh, is that Estonians very proud?
Yeah, of course, we're very proud
of
our little country. And whenever someone says something good about us,
Oh, it was amazing.
You can hear it from the national news.
Yeah.
Karanspi said good things about Estonia.
I couldn't think of one bad thing to say about Estonia when I was there. I had a great time.
Nice to hear.
Please be a raise. It's a raise.
It is a raise, and it's been turning into quite a long three-way poker match. I wasn't expecting that. And Fomitsa finds another decent hand against Lazarova. Let's see how he decides to play this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting now because he is a much bigger stack. Is that all in? Yeah, see, that's what I want to see from him. I mean,
love it.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
19 big blinds reshoved. And Fomitsa is here to battle it out. He's not giving it away easy.
Oh, Dan Jones says his girlfriend is Estonian.
Yeah.
Where are you from then, Dan?
Yeah, Dan.
Is there a common language?
I would expect Dan Jones to be from UK, but I have been wrong before.
Fair enough. Yeah, or maybe America. It's quite a good American name as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even think about how British sounding the name Dan Jones is. It didn't even occur to me. I've got Brexit brain, sorry.
What's a Brexit brain?
Where your head is full of really stupid decisions.
Ah, okay.
Let's not get political. Let's not talk about Brexit unless you want to see a grown woman cry.
Dan Jones is from London town.
Baby, London.
We're from London. What's the...
yeah, we're coming around your house. What's your address?
Yeah.
What's your address? And get the brews in, because we're on our way.
Are you from London?
No, Kent, actually, just
Kent.
south of London, yeah. But I lived in Manchester for a long time, so I'm a bit of a half-breed.
Did you participate in the Manchester MPN stop?
Yes, I did this time last year. That was my first, as the Red Bet Poker Manager, that was my first MPN PT
So you have
stop,
some fun memories.
Yeah, it was great fun. It was great because I was kind of back in my old haunt.
So Dan Jones is from Brixton. We're getting ever closer to getting to know where Dan Jones' address is.
Next time we're in Brixton, I do like a bit of Brixton, bit of a party town. Love it there. Spent quite a lot of my youth, my teenage years and early 20s in various drum and bass clubs in Brixton. Good times, good
you were
times.
a drum and bass girl.
Jungle girl all the way.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Oh,
Nice.
yes.
Who are your favorites? Do you still remember?
The old school.